So the definition of meditation is a mind that is single-pointedly focused on a virtuous object, and whose function is to make the mind peaceful and calm. So it's a mind that is single-pointedly focused on a virtuous object, and whose function is to make the mind peaceful and calm. So here, we don't think about this in the abstract. When we say a mind, we need to think our mind. Our mind. When I'm meditating, my mind is single-pointedly focused on a virtuous object, and its function is to make my mind peaceful and calm. So that then starts to get very helpful. I've done many meditations. We've been sitting kind of like looking like in deep samadhi, but my mind's been kind of wandering off, touring around all the pizza shops in Port Jervis, and everybody's sees me and, oh, you look so peaceful, you must be a really profound meditator. And I'm kind of like well, it was a very nice meditation. I enjoyed it very much. But it doesn't really fit the definition. So it's focused on a virtuous object. Sometimes Geshe uses the word meaningful object for virtuous object, and we will touch on that a little later on this evening. But the words virtue and non-virtue in Buddhism are just so relevant. Often in English, they can carry sort of certain connotations of being a good person and being a bad person. And it's not so much that. Remember, with what we're doing is we're trying to translate words from the Sanskrit that Buddha taught in. And there's not really the right words, but the closest we can come to is virtue and non-virtue. And the meaning of virtue is basically it's the main cause of happiness. And the meaning of non-virtue is it's the main cause of suffering and pain. So what Buddha did when he was teaching, he would kind of like, if he's teaching about anger, he would think, well, does anger lead to happiness or does it lead to suffering? And it would be like, no, it leads to suffering. It always leads to suffering. Anger is like a fire; it can never lead to happiness. So he said, we'll call that non-virtue. Kindness. Where does kindness lead to? Well, kindness always leads to happiness. So we'll call kindness virtue. So there's many states of mind that only lead to suffering, many states of mind that only lead to happiness. And with meditation, we're focusing on a state of mind that leads to happiness, virtue.